Did you know that apologizing unnecessarily can show insecurity and low self-worth? Saying sorry too much can hurt your confidence and make you seem unsure or guilty even when you're not. Many men feel guilty about small things and often apologize for things they don't need to, even if they haven't done anything wrong. They think that saying sorry makes them appear more likable, especially in front of women. While it's important to apologize when necessary, there are certain things that Sigma males never apologize for. Here are 7 of them. Number 1. They never apologize for telling the truth. Did you know that humans are naturally inclined to lie? According to a study by the University of Massachusetts, 60% of adults can't have a 10-minute conversation without lying at least once. And why do we lie? To avoid conflict, protect someone's feelings or our own image. Many people apologize for telling the truth because they think it might hurt others or make them look bad. It's like being afraid of rejection. You avoid it by only telling people what they want to hear. But Sigma males don't sugarcoat or dance around the truth, even if it's not what others want to hear. They believe that trust can only be built on truth, no matter how bitter it might be. Most people appreciate truth over lies, especially when it comes to important matters. Think about it. While others might tell a white lie to avoid an awkward situation or keep someone happy, Sigma men prefer to be honest and upfront. Honesty is non-negotiable for them, and they don't apologize for it. They'd rather earn respect for being truthful than gain favor by telling lies. Now think about people who bend the truth to fit in or to avoid confrontations. These individuals often find themselves tangled in a web of lies, always anxious about keeping their stories straight. Sigma men don't have this problem. They say it as it is, leaving no room for misunderstandings. This straightforward way usually makes people respect them more, even if they find their honesty hard to handle at first. Number 2. They never apologize for where they come from. Did you know that in some cultures where you come from can determine your entire future? In ancient Rome, your status was fixed by birth, and people had to live with that. Today, things are different. Where you come from can still matter a lot, but people have more chances to change their story. However, many feel judged by their background. Some people feel ashamed if they come from a poor family or an unknown place. They try to hide this part of their lives or avoid talking about it. They don't want others to know about their background because they're afraid of being judged or looked down upon. But Sigma males don't see it that way. Where they started does not define where they can go or who they can become. Their background shapes them and gives them unique experiences and perspectives. If they grew up with less money or in a small town, it just made them stronger and more resourceful. Think of famous people who came from humble beginnings. Do you think they got to where they are by pretending to be someone else? No, they embraced their past and used it as a driving force to achieve their goals. That's why Sigma males never apologize for their background. They actually use it as a source of motivation. They stand firm in their identity and see their past as a chapter in their story, not something to be embarrassed about. Even when others might try to make them feel small or out of place, Sigma males don't apologize for their roots. Where they come from is not something they can change, but it's what makes them who they are. Let's be honest, not everyone comes from a perfect place. Maybe they grew up in a tough neighborhood or didn't have as many opportunities. However, Sigma males don't let that define them. In fact, they wear it like a badge of honor. Number 3. They never apologize for cutting toxic people out of their life. Have you ever had a friend, partner, or coworker who just made you feel bad all the time? Maybe they were always negative, put you down, or made you feel drained. Many people put up with this because they think they can handle it or they feel odd without them. It feels easier to just deal with their bad behavior than to face the conflict of cutting them out. It's surprising to know that nearly 80% of people will stay in bad relationships because they don't want to be alone. But Sigma males don't tolerate this kind of mistreatment. If you're toxic, they'll cut you out of their life without hesitation. and they don't apologize for it. They don't feel guilty for removing someone who negatively affects their life. It's not that they don't care about others. They just have a high sense of self-respect and won't allow anyone to bring them down. While they may not cut someone out immediately, they won't hesitate to do so if that person continues to be toxic. Number 4, they never apologize for their opinion. Did you know that about 4 in 10 people hesitate to share their true opinions? A study from the University of California found that fear of judgment keeps many people quiet. Even though Sigma males think differently than most people or have ideas that may not align with the majority, they're not afraid to share their thoughts. Think about famous inventors and leaders. Do you think they got to where they are by keeping their opinions to themselves? No. Just like these leaders, Sigma males aren't afraid to stand alone. They know that great ideas often start as unpopular opinions. Do you remember when everyone thought the world was flat? It took one brave thinker to change that. Sigma men follow this line of thought. They know their unique opinions might just make a difference. Imagine you're in a meeting and you say something you believe in, but everyone looks confused or doesn't agree. The average guy might feel awkward and say sorry to avoid any trouble. Sigma males don't do that. Having a different opinion is not something to apologize for. They stand firm, even when others don't see things the way they do. Take Steve Jobs, for example. Did he apologize for his vision of computers that could fit on a desk? No. He stood firm and made it happen. Sigma males possess a similar unwavering nature. They don't bend their words to fit in or to please others. A study published in the Journal of Communication found that 67% of people appreciate when someone stands up for what they believe in, even if they don't entirely agree. That's what makes Sigma males so influential. They trust their gut and stick to what they believe is right. They simply state their opinion and let others deal with it. They don't see the need to apologize for having a different perspective, even if it's not the same as their bosses. That's for those who are afraid of being disliked, and Sigma males don't fall into that category. Statistics show that only 36% of people feel confident expressing their opinions on controversial topics, and Sigma males are part of this minority. They express themselves clearly and confidently because they value truth over acceptance. They don't spend time worrying about what others will think of their opinions. Everyone has their own way of thinking, and they respect that. So, they expect the same respect in return. They also understand that not everyone will see things their way, but they don't let that keep them quiet. While others might second-guess themselves or hold back to avoid any conflict, Sigma men don't hesitate to point out the elephant in the room. It's not about being right or wrong. It's about bringing different perspectives to the table. But they also won't force their opinions on others. If someone disagrees, they can respectfully agree to disagree. Number 5. They never apologize for taking time alone. Needing alone time isn't just a personality quirk. It's something our brains actually need for better function. Studies show that spending time alone can boost brain function and help us learn new things better. But how often do people feel bad about needing time alone? More than you'd think. Society often sees seeking solitude as strange or antisocial, but Sigma males don't buy into that. They view it as a critical part of recharging and maintaining mental health. Just like how your phone needs to recharge, so does your brain. Taking time alone helps them think more clearly, making them more effective in everything they do. They don't feel the need to apologize for it. Unlike others who might feel pressured to constantly socialize, they see time alone as productive and beneficial. Being alone in nature can even reduce stress and boost creativity. Imagine taking a walk in the park or sitting by the lake. Sigma males take full advantage of these moments. That time alone can lead to better ideas and clearer thoughts. It's not about being lonely. It's about finding inner peace and focus. Now, contrast this with someone who constantly needs to be surrounded by others. Imagine being at a party, feeling drained but staying just to avoid seeming rude. Sigma men simply don't do that. They understand their limits and won't push themselves to meet social expectations. They know when to step back and take time for themselves, even if it means saying no to a social gathering or event. Those who regularly take time for themselves are generally happier and more emotionally stable. So, while others might apologize for needing a break or feel guilty for not being more social, Sigma males simply don't care about societal expectations. They know what they need to function at their best, and they don't apologize for it. Number 6. They never apologize for saying no. Have you ever said yes when you really wanted to say no? Growing up, we're often taught to always play nice and agree with others. Saying no seemed rude and disrespectful. This happens a lot. Maybe a boss asks for extra hours, and instead of saying no, people agree, even if it means missing out on family time. They feel pushed to say yes because they don't want to look bad or get in trouble. But here's a secret. As grown-ups, we must learn that saying no is sometimes essential. Imagine you try to say yes to everything. What happens? You run out of time, wear yourself thin, and eventually, people might walk all over you. So let me share some wisdom. It's okay to say no. You won't always find someone telling you that, so you need to learn it yourself. Next time you're at work and someone tries to load you with extra tasks, just say no if it stretches you too thin. No one else's problem should become your burden. Unless, of course, there's a real emergency. Sigma males never apologize for saying no. They understand their limits and don't budge once they've reached them. It's about managing your time and energy wisely. They're not being mean or unreasonable when saying no. They're simply protecting themselves from overcommitting. Think of it this way. Saying no doesn't mean you're closing doors. It means you're making room for truly important things. Sigma men value their time and make sure they spend it on things that truly matter to them. They don't feel guilty about it, knowing that by saying no to less important requests, they can put their best effort into what truly counts. So don't hesitate to say no when needed. You're not being rude. You're setting healthy boundaries. Number 7. They never apologize for not knowing something. Have you ever been in a room full of people discussing a topic you know nothing about? It feels pretty awkward, right? Many people nod along, pretending they know what's going on, just to avoid looking bad. They feel embarrassed or less valuable because they don't know something, especially when others do. But Sigma males never feel that way. They don't apologize for not knowing something. They just ask questions if they're curious or admit they don't know enough about the topic. Whether it's because of a busy schedule or just not being interested, Sigma men don't feel the need to act like they know everything. Admitting that you don't have all the answers takes courage and humility. It's not a weakness. It's an indication of self-awareness. Unlike those who fake knowledge or pretend to understand, Sigma males have no problem admitting when they don't know something. It's impossible to know everything, so there's no need to hide it or apologize for it.